productivity is not just something that people either are good at or they're not. It's actually something that can be learned, and it's something that by practice you can get better and better at. But there's also some tips and tricks for how you can get better at it. So one of the first things that you need to be able to do is actually get everything out of your brain, and all of the stuff that's looping around all of the tasks that you need to get done. You want to get them down and actually be able to write them out. Now, you can definitely use pen and paper, but my preference is to use a spreadsheet. And the reason is that you can filter it, you can mix it up, but also if you're using Google Sheets, you can access it on all of your devices as well. So what you want to do, let's just go with the spreadsheet on this one. What you want to do is literally in one column, write down every single task that you need to get done for the week. Now, as you get better at this, you're going to be able to extend that out to maybe a 2-week, 3-week, or even a month period. But for now, let's just focus on a week or even a day if you like to get that done. Now, what you want to do is have a look through at every single thing on that list, and you want to be able to give it a due date. Now, some of those things will be immediately, but some of them may not actually be due until another week. Now, one of the keys here is that if you can't give something a due date, you have to really question the priority that it has to be on that list. It maybe needs to move to a different list, like one that says one day or when I get time, or it would be nice, but it doesn't need to be in your actual schedule list that you want to get done for today or this week. Now, going back through and having a look at each of those items, you can now start to prioritize them. So you've got 3 columns on the spreadsheet. You've got the details, you've got the due date, and then you can start doing priority. And you just start going through and have a look in which order you need to get things done. You have to get things done, right? And as you go through as well, if something is on there that doesn't look like it's right or it belongs there. Let's say it might be something like reorganizing your wardrobe. You can kind of say, well, yes, do I need to do this? And what would fall apart if I didn't do it? Because when we get into a state of overwhelm and we're trying to get more productive, having things like that on the list are really not going to help you. But if you're getting ready to rent your place out for Airbnb, it may well be an absolute priority. Now, with the items that you've got on the list, you may see that some of the things on your list are actually bigger items, where it could be, let's say, organizing an event. It could be completing a project. Now, rather than just having on there completing the project, you want to actually chunk that down into bite size underneath that. There may be certain things that you need to liaise with someone else on. There may be certain things that you need to complete at certain points. By chunking it down, it means that you can give each of the individual items a due date, which means, again, you're putting it to bite size and it makes it a lot more manageable. Now, the beauty of putting this all into Google Sheets or into a spreadsheet is that you can use a filter to reorganize so that all of a sudden, all of your list starts going from 1 down to whatever number it is that you've got. Now, if you're not sure how to do this, you can read through on my blog, and I've got instructions exactly on how to create that filter. Now that you've got your list, you've got the order of priority, you want to stop multitasking. I know that multitasking can actually feel really good, and I'm someone who does this often, where it almost feels like because you've got your fingers in so many pies, it feels like you're being productive. But the reality is that you're probably starting things and not actually finishing them. The key to getting productive is actually to be able to complete tasks and mark them off. You know, our brains really respond to that endorphin hit of being able to mark a task off as well. Now, the other thing that you need to do is turn the voices off. Now, there's 3 parts to this. The first one is the judgy part in your brain that says that you're not going to get things done. Turn her off. She's of no benefit to you whatsoever. Now, the next one is your phone. Turn your phone on silence, on focus, or even turn it off if you're feeling a bit risque. But you need to get those messages, incoming calls, and notifications switched off while you're in a space of getting productive. And the third part to it is that I really love to listen to music that has no vocals. So if you're someone that loves to have music on while you're working, try switching to a melodic or instrumental playlist where you don't have the interruptions into your brain of someone else's voice in the vocals. The difference in productivity is unbelievable when you do this. But also what I find is that if I'm using the same playlist each time, it acts like a trigger so that when my brain hears that music, hears that playlist, it's like I automatically switch into productivity. So that gives you a little bit of a list for you to get started and for you to start getting super productive. Trust me, you've got this. It is a learned skill, and by practice you can get better and better and better at it. So if you enjoyed this video, please share it with someone that you think would also benefit from it. But also like, subscribe, follow, all the good things, and I'll see you again soon.